Hey guys, it's the end of the month, so it's time for me to share my monthly highlights / favorites / whatever I want to talk about. So let's start off with the videos I made this month and then jump into a couple books. So this month we had 4 5 and 5s, and if you don't know, 5 and 5s are when I talk about 5 different artists, all surrounding a particular topic in art, and talk about them in 5 minutes. The first one was self-portrait, which was really fun. It was with my friend James, and if you haven't already heard about his channel, I talk about it all the time, so you should just go and subscribe. I'll put his link in the description bar below. The second one was a little bit different from the usual, which was breathing. I'm trying to think of some more sort of interesting topics that we don't normally associate with art, like breathing. It's kind of a difficult thing, especially in visual art. Obviously, there's a lot of performance art that I talked about. Trying to think of some interesting topics, which I think you saw this month, because there was breathing, bridges, which is, I guess, kind of very impressionist related, and then the third one was honeybees, which was kind of the cutest one, I think. I just thought it was really funny because while I was making the video, our backyard has like a hive of yellow jackets kind of terrorizing our backyard, and I made that video. I had a kind of fun video for International Cat Day, which was the history of cats in art, or just cats in art over time. So I hope you cat lovers like that video. That one was for you, and I need to figure out when International Dog Day is. So I need to figure out when that is and make that a thing. I also did a video about signs in art. Signs, icons, symbols, index, semiotics, kind of. If you haven't watched it already and you're interested in art, which I think you are probably interested in art because you're watching this video, I hope you guys check that out if you haven't already. I think it's pretty fascinating, really. So it's nice to hear that some of you guys enjoyed it as well. Another exciting thing that happened this month was that I finally released the Japanese art history series. I've been saying that I'm making it for the longest time now, so I'm really happy it's finally out. I definitely am still making the rest of them, but for now I have 2 videos up, which is the trailer for this series. So the first of the series is sort of the Neolithic Protohistoric period of Japan, which is the Jomon, Yayoi, and Kofun periods. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. One of my favorite things about art history is sort of looking at the history of the country or whatever, and then seeing how their artifacts, their art objects, their ritual objects reflects that culture and their religion and beliefs. So that's why I really love studying art history, particularly some of the older periods, which I think some people kind of overlook as, oh, it's so old, you know, a pot is a pot, right? But, you know, you actually learn quite a lot about how they lived and survived, basically, from the utensils they use. So I think it's always good to learn about those things. It's always fascinating to see where things sort of line up, if that makes sense. Like, people are way more similar than I think people care to admit sometimes. So yeah, I'm just excited to make this series and create the rest of the episodes. I think I'm committed to making 9 videos, and I have a couple kind of side episodes that I want to do. So hopefully the videos turn out alright. Because I filmed a lot of intros while I was in Japan, I found that it was a lot more difficult than I first assumed, such as sound quality was kind of hard to do. It's hard when you're out and about, it's hard to have sort of a consistent sound. So I apologize if the quality is not very good. It was also my first time filming outside, so I was also really nervous talking to the camera by myself in public with people laughing and pointing. Literally, people were laughing and pointing, so I'm not being overly dramatic. I learned so much from making this series, and even though I haven't finished editing everything, there's a lot of things I would like to change and I would improve upon in the future if I were to make another one, which hopefully I get the chance to do. Anyways, on to favorites now. I've been kind of lacking on the movie and TV show front in the last couple of favorites. I apologize. I already got a couple of movies to watch and tell you guys about. And I've also been getting a lot of requests for specific podcasts and art-related books. So I think I might just do a comprehensive or compiled video just dedicated to that. I have 2 books that I read, and both are actually fiction books. I was asked to recommend a couple of fiction books that are art-related, and I realized I don't know a ton. Like, I can't think of a single one, really. So I decided to go ahead and read some more, and I have a sort of working list, but I want to hear from you guys if you have any recommendations of fiction books to read about artists or art. It can be historical or non-historical, maybe about creating or about, I don't know. But if it's a good book, let me know. I would love to hear from you. So the first book I read was The Colorless Tsukuru Tazaki and His Years of Pilgrimage by Murakami. I know he has a ton of books that are pretty popular, and I'm actually pretty new to him. I've only read one other book by him earlier this year, which was Budnick's Sweetheart. But I thought this book might be something I was looking for as a fiction book about art, since there was an element of color and making things, and one of the characters actually makes ceramics. I think I read the entire book in like 2 days or something crazy, which I hardly ever do. So obviously I was enjoying it and I read it really quickly. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. The main guy, Tsukuru, has like a group of best friends during high school, and each of the 4 friends has a color in their name. There's white, black, red, and blue, 2 boys, 2 girls, and one day they sort of kick him out of their friendship group. And years later, he's sort of in his mid-30s, I think. He goes back and visits these friends and asks them, you know, what happened? Why was I kicked out? And stuff like that. I kind of thought that the whole making thing would have more emphasis, given that the cover was the colors, the names are colors, and the inner cover had like train maps and stuff like that. I thought there would be more talking about creating things, but you know, they mostly just mention, oh, he creates train stations. So there is an element of creation, but it wasn't very prominent, I guess. And so I don't know if it's close enough for me to mention it in that list. Yeah, in short, I have no idea what I'm doing. The second book is actually much closer to what I was looking for, which is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And obviously it's a classic, so maybe you already read it or you know about it. The main character is an artist who paints a picture of Dorian Gray, and the artist, his name is Basil, is sort of obsessed with him. He's infatuated by his beauty and everything like that. It's very philosophical. If you've read Oscar Wilde before, you already know what I'm talking about. Dorian decides to sell his soul to remain beautiful and not age, whereas his portrait will continue aging and all that jazz. So far I haven't finished it yet. I remember reading it before, so I'll probably finish that up soon and let you guys know what I think, but so far I like it. Anyways, that's all I got for this favorites video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and caught up with me, kind of. I really do want to hear if you have any recommendations for books, or even if they're not fiction books. I would love to hear if you got a good book, because I'm always reading more, always sharing more. So please go ahead and leave a comment and I'll definitely read it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.